Hello, everybody, and welcome back to It's a Wrap, aka the Mikoncast. Here we are, episode 14. That's crazy. 14's a big milestone. Never thought I'd get here, but regardless, here we are. And there's an episode that I meant. Well, no, I didn't. I didn't. I was okay with the idea of doing it in 2021. Would have been better if I did it in 2020, but it doesn't matter. It's January. I feel like it would have been too late for this if I did it in February. So anytime in January is okay. So I'm still okay by my standards. And well, as you can see, that this is a 2020 music wrap up episode, and music being one of the main things I have been talking about, and you know, one of the main topics of like the podcast in general is going to be about music. So this is going to be a pretty big episode technically because this it's a very general music episode, and it's a big one because it's kind of all 2020. Now, I used to have a second YouTube channel where I talked about music, but the podcast kind of defeated the purpose for it because videos I can make on there I could just talk about on here instead, and it's not like I like they were pretty much just like mini podcasts about music anyways. There wasn't like if you were watching it, you would just be looking at like a still image, and I might as well just not do that and just incorporate it with other topics because it just makes more sense. It's kind of sad that channel's gonna go. I mean, I could still upload to it, but I don't know. I won't for now because it's honestly just pretty pointless. Because I mean, what's the point? But regardless, we're talking about music here, and I am sad because usually over there I would do a rap album of the year video like I've done for the past 2 years, and I am still gonna talk about my favorite rap album in here, but I'm not gonna have like a whole dedicated thing to it. It's just gonna be grouped in. I just figured instead of like doing all these different podcasts, like oh, these are my top 10 songs, top 10 albums. I figured I'll just lump it all into one. Um, it's, it's gonna be kind of loose. I don't think I'm not gonna have like a. I don't have like a top 10 list. I'm just gonna rattle off my top favorites in no specific order. I will have an album of the year, that I will obviously get to. Um, that'll be more towards the end. But what I'm gonna do for now, I think this is all I'm really gonna do, and at the end I'll generalize. Make a couple of these are my favorite blanks of the year. Um, so what I do in my notes app every time I listen to an album, like not even like an album of the year, just like any album I listen to for the first time, I put it down in my notes, and I put them down by month, and I organize it because I just like to keep track of what I listen to, and I'm just gonna go down my list because that's obviously finished up since 2020 is over. Um, I'm just gonna go down the list and list each album in 2020 that each 20 each every album that came out in 2020 that I listened to. I'm gonna talk about. Obviously, I'm not gonna list every album here because a lot of these albums are just albums I've heard for the first time from other years because I don't only listen to music that comes out in the year because obviously there's a lot of music out there, old and new, from like a few years ago just to like decades ago. Obviously, like there's so much music, and I'm kind of like a weird music listener, if that makes sense. Like I only listen to music when I'm like, or when I only listen to like an album for the first time if I'm in like the exact right mood. Which means I'm not listening like all the time. Sometimes I'll go like a couple weeks, or yeah, without listening to an album, or sometimes I'll listen to like two. I'll listen to albums like I'll listen to like five new albums a week. It's just whatever I'm feeling. And it's January 12th, and I haven't listened to any new albums this month yet. I know it's been almost 2 weeks, but I just haven't in the mood because I'm good with what I have right now. Nothing's really caught out to me. I mean, I have things on my list I'm gonna get to, but nothing I immediately feel like listening to. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And I did count how many albums I listened to total, like including like 2020 and just any album for the first time. And I'll get to that eventually. But yeah, I'm just talking about 2020 albums because it's a 2020 wrap up. So that's that. A couple things I want to talk about before we get into music stuff. I guess since it's a huge deal, and I just want to cover it. I'm not gonna put this part in like the title because I'm just gonna mention it. How about the U.S. Capitol? Eh? Stormed and it was broken into by Trump supporters. Well, if you've watched this, you know how I feel about Trump and his supporters. Kind of, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little surprised because they always had this talk about, oh, we're peaceful, we don't, and they stormed the Capitol just because their candidate lost. It's just sad and pathetic. All the people that broke into it should go to jail. Um, just unbelievable. I I and then Trump didn't even really condemn it that much. You remember in his Twitter video called them special. He was like, we love you. You're all special people, and that luckily caused him to get permanently banned off Twitter and like every social media. So, thank God, he's gonna be out of office in on the 20th, so in about 8 days. It's probably gonna be 7 by the time this goes up, but yeah, he's finally gonna be gone. He's gonna potentially be impeached, which I don't think he's gonna get removed from office because he only has like a week left. But the impeachment trials are still gonna go through, which means that he would not be able to um run again in 2024. Which even if he did, I don't think he would even get close, especially after this. But regardless, it'll be impossible if he gets impeached. Regardless, so let's just hope that actually does go through because that's ideal. That's what we want. Supporters, who all the people who did that and participated are disgusting, terrible people. Broke into the Capitol after claiming to be, that they're not the violent ones. They're a bunch of they're just lunatics, crybabies, just because their candidate lost. Their candidate is like a garbage person. So that's unbelievable that they would go so far for just such a garbage president in person. Um, I mean, what else do I need to say? It's a lot of she doesn't even like. Man, I don't know. It doesn't even like. It didn't even hasn't hardly even processed. It's like so many things that just been happening in the world where things happen. I'm just like, oh, okay, because it's just nothing is like shocking at this point. It's I don't know. It's disgusting. So yeah, luckily he's gonna be gone. I'm glad he's banned off of everything. It is a very good thing to hear. He's banned off Instagram. Let me go check. Donald. Never mind, his Instagram is still there. I mean, he hasn't posted since January 5th, so I think he's just restricted from like posting forever. I believe. I know he's gone off. Is he permanently gone off Facebook? I know he got like suspended like temporarily. It might be permanently, but I do know he's permanently banned on Twitter, and that was like his favorite. So thank God he can't use Twitter anymore. I mean, he deserves it. I don't feel bad for it. It's freedom of speech, bro. He incited violence and the attack on the Capitol. So what are you gonna do? People are always gonna find something to say about it's censorship. No, he violated Twitter's policy, so he signed up for their platform, and it was violated. So boom, give me a crybaby all he wants. He's gonna be gone, and hopefully he just vanishes off the face of the earth for being a terrible person. Yeah, let's go. My birthday's in 5 days. January 17th. Again, probably 7 days by the time this goes. Wait, no. I'm thinking of the 20th. Probably 4 days by the time this goes up. I'll be turning 19 years old. It's not really a landmark age. I mean, 18 is because you're now a legal adult, and I guess the next landmark age is like 21, just because you can legally drink. I guess, which isn't a big deal to me because I'm not gonna. I mean, I don't really plan on drinking because it's. I mean, I'm not saying like I'll never drink, but like I'm not gonna go out and buy alcohol because it's like, I just don't it's whatever. That doesn't get me excited. But 21, I think I can legally buy weed, so that's actually a good thing. So I'm actually am excited for 21 in that regard. So I guess 21 will be a landmark age for me. Personally, not for the alcohol, but for the other thing I mentioned. Um, yeah, and then after that, it's like I think like the only landmark ages are just like the O's, like 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. It's like I think that's it. Yeah, 21 is. I mean, like, and even 21 is the last like real thing because like at 21 like you gain the ability to do things like again like to buy weed or alcohol, but when you hit the O's, the 30s, 40s, or 50s, etc., you're just older. You don't get any special privileges. You can do everything you can. So, I mean, not that it matters to me. I'm not. That doesn't give me some kind of like dread. It's like, okay, just something I thought I'd mention. So that's crazy. It's gonna be interesting. But I'm probably not gonna do much because, well, what's the obvious thing going on right now in the world? Oh yeah, COVID. So we'll see. Hopefully it's just a chill day. I'm just gonna do whatever. Um, yeah, and that's that. I want to talk about other things before I get into music. What else? Is there anything else going on in the world? Like it's. I mean, I don't think so. What's trending on Twitter? He's 78. Talking about Biden or something. Biden's 78, right? Let me go see. Joe Biden. He's almost. Let me see. Yeah, 70. I don't know. I don't know who they're talking about. I'm looking through. Who's this about? Tommy Lauren. Yikes. Not quite a fan of her. Because she is she's pretty hardcore Republican, and well, if you know me, I don't mess with that. She's a big MAGA girl. Yeah, fuck that. Wait, what'd she tweet? Let me go see. Remember when stores had to be boarded up for weeks or months to deter the last peaceful protesters? Now they want to act like they're the picture of right. Shut the fuck up. Fucking idiot. Bro, just like, why do you. I'm not gonna get into this. Regardless, let me just oh, hold up. I'm having a mic issue. Give me a second. Okay, my apologies. I had to adjust my mic stand is low key broken. I'm looking into getting a new mic and mic stand soon. So sorry about that. Again, only the most professional stuff around here because I don't want you to hear me feeling it because it's like metal. It creaks. I figure silence is better than that, but maybe I'm wrong. I'll see how that goes. Over with anyone. I guess that's it. I kind of want to talk about more other stuff before getting in. It's not that I don't want to talk about music, but like, yeah, I don't know. I just can't think of anything. Again, I need to start taking notes of what's going on as things are happening, so I can, know what to talk about when. Um. Okay, I think we're just gonna get right into it. 2020 music. Well, let me preface this by 2020, in my opinion, was a phenomenal year for music. I think a lot of artists drop. I mean, a lot of artists have been planning to drop before COVID. I feel like a lot of artists were like, you know what, it's a tough time, so let's just drop a lot of music. That might be a part of it. I feel like that's is certainly the case for some of the some of these projects are a result of COVID. Like like the new project, the side B deluxe, Music to Be Murdered By. So that's one. Um, it was a great year for a lot of genres. Again, there's a lot of good rap projects. Really good amount of good pop projects. Some good alternative stuff. That's mainly what I listen to this year, because those are really typically my favorite. I'm still adjusting. Sorry if you can hear that. See, that's what I wanted to avoid. If that is annoying. Um, let's get going. Let's get going. Um, we're out here chilling and vibing. So yeah, I'm very satisfied. I think it was better than 2019. I did just better than the last probably couple of years. In all honesty, a lot of noteworthy people and just a lot of albums, because I had a lot more contenders for my rap album of the year than usual. Usually they're only like about like three or four. I'm like, okay, this is like the top. I mean, it's not like the rest are bad. The rest are always usually really solid, but like I'm talking about like something that is like that stayed in my rotation for like a long time. That's what I always. That's probably like my main criteria is like projects that like I'm hooked on and can't stop listening to. So that's that. And let's get started. Let's go into it. I'll talk about it as I'm going. What's the first project that for a 2020 project that I listened to? Where is it? Music to Be Murdered by Eminem. Oh my, yo, this album, y'all. I'm telling you. Um, Eminem dropped Music to Me. He dropped it on January 17th of 2020, and oh, that's my birthday. He surprise dropped it on my birthday, on my 18th birthday, and that was just a great. That was a great day. I remember. It was just. I didn't see it coming. Because it was a surprise drop, but like obviously there were people talking about like an album coming, in the coming months before, just because it's been a while, and he's been like consistent on like features, so people just figured naturally that he had something coming soon. And I mean, again, I did too, but like no one, of course, no one knew for sure. There weren't any like actual like credible like for sure rumors. But yeah, I remember I was in my room. I usually stay up to midnight for my birthday, just cause I'm always up to midnight because I'm a night person. I just have a bad sleep schedule. But I remember I was just in my room, and I was just chilling. It hits midnight. Um, uh, I'm going through Twitter and I see someone tweet about it. I'm like, wait, no way, no way. Actually, what happened was I saw someone tweet like freaking out about like an album just dropped. And this is at like 11 like 58. So I guess I dropped it a couple minutes early, but like I saw it, I didn't even take it seriously because I'm like, okay, it's obviously someone trolling because it's not even midnight. Like there's just something going on. So, but I just told myself, all right, okay, let's just check let's check a Spotify exactly at midnight, just to see, like, just in case. I didn't even like after I saw it, I didn't keep going to my time. And after I saw a tweet, I was just like, okay. And then I just got off Twitter. I'm like, oh, let me just see at midnight. And then I checked, and lo and behold, there it is, Music to Be Murdered By. And this album is just it's phenomenal. It's been on repeat the entire year. I love it so much. I mean, he's like, he's like my favorite rapper. Like he's in my top three artists like of all time. Like he's, well, again, I don't know if I explained this, but like my top three artists, they're all kind of like my favorite. Like I don't have like a preference over my top three. They're all my top three, or like they're all like my number one. Like they're in that like that elite like little circle. I don't have a favorite you know over of them overall. And M is, I guess, technically, my favorite artist along with the other two people. But just for the sake of it, I'm gonna say he is my favorite artist, favorite rapper, whatever, right? I mean, it has the premonition intro. If you diss me, I'm coming after you. Like the wait. If I was half as good as it was, I'm still twice as good as you'll ever be. Only way you're ever like, what was it? Only way you're ahead of me is if you diss me, because As if what? I'm having a stroke right now. Because if you diss me, I'm coming after you like the letter V. I'm sorry. I had a I had a brain fart moment. Coming after you like the letter V. That's great. Unaccommodating. I'll say it right now. My favorite rap song of the year. I've listened to it so many times. Young M.A. At first I'm like I loved her verse. Then I got with it, and then I loved it again, and I still love it. Like I think it's great. Um, didn't really expect it to be I didn't expect that collaboration, but it was great. Eminem's verse is amazing. It's again it's probably like my favorite verse from him this year, or it's one of. I mean, kind of has to be right. Has to be up there for sure. Um, they call me Kanye. Wait, I can see why they hate me. I'm calling like John Wayne Gacy. They call me Kanye crazy. Ape shit Beyonce Jay Z. That part, I love that part. You Gonna Learn with Royce. I mean, come on, it's kind of nice. Ed Sheeran, Godzilla with Juice World. That was wild. Um, Darkness, one of like a really great storytelling kind of Stan-esque song. Great music video too. Yeah with Royce the 5'9", Black Thought, Q-Tip, and Denine. How do you say it? Denine? I think yeah. Yeah, aka Mr. Porter, right? Um, okay, you're not gonna believe me. You might not believe me, but I swear, again, there weren't even any rumors, like any like like any like actual like for real like rumors about the album coming out, right? I still didn't see it coming whatsoever. I swear to God, a couple weeks before, because Black Thought is one of my favorite rappers of all time. Also, he's in my top 5 without a doubt. He's probably the only He's like the only rapper who I'd say is probably a better lyricist than M. I prefer M overall, but as a pure lyricist, I think Black Thought is the best all time. Right. So, and they never collabed on a song before. And I remember a couple weeks before thing, and I was just like, man, what if Black Thought? I hope Black Thought is on the next M album. Like, I hope they have a collab soon. I swear to God, and it was on this. I would never lie about that, and that just blew my mind when I saw that. And of course, his verse is killer. I do think his verse is better than M's, just by a little bit. Black Thought, obviously, he destroyed that track. Stepdad, bro, people hate Stepdad. A lot of people don't like the chorus. I love it. I mean, I love pretty much everything he does. So maybe that's not maybe I mean I love it. I don't care if I'm biased. I mean I'm not really. I mean he's like my favorite artist for like a reason. I love just about everything he does for a reason. That's why he's my favorite, right? I think of course we got Lock It Up with Anderson. Um, amazing. No regrets with Don Toliver. Not quite my thing. I'm not a big Don Toliver guy. He's not bad, but he just isn't for me, I'll say. And then I Will with all Slaughterhouse, excluding Joe Budden, for a couple obvious reasons. Because like they low key still have beef, M and Joe. I'm pretty sure they do. I'm last I heard that like they were taking like they took like small baby steps into repairing whatever happened between them, and obviously because Joe is retired from rap, and I hope he comes back because I think he's a great rapper, and I'd love to see him come back. His Rage in the Machine project is I think one of the most underrated rap albums I've ever heard. I'm not saying it's like the greatest of all time. I'm not saying it's top 10 of all time. I just think it's severely underrated. Joe Budden, I mean, good podcaster. He gets his props as a podcaster, but a lot of people don't give him props as a rapper. I don't think, and yeah, that's that. That song's great though. I love to hear M collab with all of them again, and Joe Budden would be a great addition too. But you know, they'll just separate from rap. That's yeah. I'm not gonna, and that's that album. Honestly, I give that album like a real like a 9 out of 10. Like I want to give it like a 10, but like no regrets. Just I mean it's not bad. Just isn't quite my thing. I'm not gonna go in depth about every album like that much. I'm just gonna kind of mention just because. I mean it's Eminem because I'm gonna go in depth about that because he's like my favorite. Right. Next I listened to was Circles by Mac Miller, released on the same day on my birthday. I'm kind of I'm a casual Mac Miller fan. I've only heard like 3 albums of his, including Circles. I mean, I think he's good. He's not one of my favorites, but I completely understand why he is a lot of people's favorites. I mean, of course, rest in peace. Circles, it was good. It's one of those albums where I certainly don't think it's bad. Like, I can't think of anything bad to say about it, but it just isn't in my rotation at all. Just cause it's just not my thing. So like that's really all. Um, I mean, like the style, it's more of a. I mean, I guess it's kind of rap, but it's more like. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm gonna go check. I'm gonna go on Apple. I don't use Apple Music, but they say what kind of out they define the genre usually under the album. So let me just go see. I mean, oh, they say it's hip hop rap. I mean, it is, but it has like a I don't know what the genre I'm thinking of is, but if you listen to it, it's not too much rap, rather than you know then whatever genre I'm thinking of. It was good. Again, not on my rotation, but still, I can't think of anything bad to say about it. Then there was Modus Vivendi by 070 Shake. I know I didn't pronounce the album name wrong, and I'm probably not pronouncing her name right, her artist name. I think it's 070 or 070. I mean, it doesn't matter. You know who she is, right? And I mean, if you know, it was good. Guilty Conscience is great. There was I mean, it was good. It was a again, I don't know the genre, but it was a very good melodic kind of trippy listen. I enjoyed that. Funeral by Lil Wayne. I really liked it when I first listened to it, but I haven't gone back to it at all. It's kind of a lot of filler songs. Um, Not a lot, but it's just the album was just very bloated. It was. I feel like it should have been shorter. I feel like he could have cut down a lot of tracks. It was a little too long. I liked it though. I like the song with 2 Chainz. Or what was the one song like Dream? I like that one. I'm gonna solid though. Again, same thing with Wayne. I'm a casual Wayne fan. I want to listen to a small handful of his projects. I've always wanted to get into it more, and I still will eventually. But you know, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Unlocked by Denzel Curry and Kenny Beats. I think that was a 2020 project. I'm almost 90% sure it was. If it was, I haven't listened to it in a long time. A lot of albums just don't make it into my like rotation a lot because like it's not because I don't like them. It's just I don't know. I don't really understand myself when it comes to music a lot of the time either. I confuse myself because it's like I can't think of anything bad to say about it, but just nothing. Just a lot of the time, I don't really go back to a lot of albums if I'm not like blown away by it, and it's nothing like it's not a diss towards the album. It's just weird. I don't understand it, man. Just yeah, it was good though. Again, hey, I'm not giving reviews of all these. So if I'm just going by, I'm saying like, oh, they're good, and like that's it. I'm just kind of listing, giving some general thoughts. The Allegory by Royce the 5'9", bro. Royce, one of my favorites of all time. Book of Ryan, one of my favorite just albums and one of my favorite albums of all time. Book of Ryan, that one's crazy. I need to check something real quick because I've been meaning to get this on vinyl. Make sure the price isn't too much because I've been lagging because it's something like $40, and I'm hesitant to spend money on albums that are like, it's on merch bar. Oh, only $26. I gotta get that soon. Book of Ryan vinyl record. This is like a necessary edition. I'm gonna order this really soon. Okay. Okay. I'm glad I was reminded. Okay. Anyways, so his follow up album to the Book of Ryan. Obviously, I had to. I was looking a lot into it. And it's really good. No, it's not like it's probably in my top 10 albums of the year. It was I need to listen to the whole thing again. Actually, it's been a minute. I need to listen to the whole thing. It's been a while. I mean, I've listened to a handful of songs that like a lot, and I still do. But I need to give the whole thing a listening again because I feel like I'm not. I feel like I shouldn't speak on it right now just because it's been so long. So I'll give it a full listen because it's a lot to digest. Because Book of Ryan, what it was a big in-depth look on his personal life, and like and who he is as a person. And Allegory is a super in-depth look about like society and like, and just it, in like government. It's just it's a very deep project also, but just in like a different, just in a different manner. Um, Pendulum is crazy. On the Block, DJ Premier, Overcomer with West Side Gun. That's one of my favorite songs from this year. I love West Side Gun on there. I'm a For Us By Us with Conway the Machine. That's my favorite song on that album because I love Conway. Well, he's one of my favorites of all time, and I love when him and Royce collab because they've collabed multiple times, and this song is also one of my favorites from this year. Um, I fucking love both their verses. Upside Down with Benny the Butcher. All three Ming Griselda members were featured on this, just all on different songs. Upside Down is also really solid because Benny never misses. And I love Royce on there. I love the chorus too with Ashley Sorrell. It's kind of it's a little eerie and cool. Shreked with King Crooked. That one's really solid because King Crooked is great. Um, there's a perspective skit where Eminem was talking about like race and all that. He wasn't featured on the album as a like rap and everything, which is cool. I kind of wish he was, but I mean I'm not complaining. I'm like, oh, you should have. I mean, if he didn't see a song for it, there wasn't a song with him on it in his vision for the album, then I understand. I mean, my reasoning is, my logic is that if M isn't on the album, then it probably would have been better without him. And I know, coming from me, that's, some M fans are big, but it's Eminem. It's like, well, yeah, but I mean, it's his vision. I trust him after after the Book of Ryan masterpiece. And I'm not gonna call the Allegory a masterpiece because I haven't given enough attention as I should. But I think it has the potential if I keep listening to it, which I will. So I'll update on that. Let's keep going. I'm not gonna label. I'm not gonna talk about every. I'm gonna skip on a couple that were just like ones because I don't have anything good to say about them. Uh, the price in tea in China, was that 2020? I know it is. I need to check because I'm always scared that it was 2019. Because for some reason I associate the price of tea in China by Bully James and Alchemist being like a November of 2019 album. I don't know why I associate it with November of 2019. I don't know, but I do for some reason. So I always have to check. I've seen a lot of people put this in their top of 2020, and it's good, but I don't see what a lot of people see in Boldy James. He's signed to Griselda now, which I mean, he's good. I don't have anything negative to say about him. I just don't. I just think he sounds like this. He uses like the same flow in just about every song I've heard. Now, of course, if I listened more, I know I would hear differences, but just on like a service level value, or not even service, because I've listened, listened to the album a couple times. It just doesn't call out to me that much. It's solid, it's good, but it's not as special as people are saying it is, in my personal opinion. It's controversial, but whatever. It's still solid though. Eternal Take by Lil Uzi. See, I listened to this. I knew I wouldn't like it that much, but everyone was talking about it. I figured I'd give it a listen just because it's a big album. And I was like, maybe this would be my turn, or my chance to turn around and actually really like Lil Uzi. And it did not. Wasn't bad. It was just boring. It was kind of boring. A lot of stuff kind of sounded the same. That's it. Not bad. Just a lot of just very meh. I don't have anything to say. I don't want to be too negative. I think Lil Uzi's a really cool person. I mean, of course he has some good songs. He has like good he has good artistic ability, but it's just I didn't listen to like the deluxe he dropped. That was like it was a part two to one of his albums from a few years ago. I'm not big on him. A Written Testimony by Jay Electronica. I mean that was like a big deal. Jay Electronica finally dropped the album, which turned out to be a collab album with Jay-Z. It was decent. A lot of people were let down by it. I thought it was solid. I didn't really anticipate it that much because I mean, I haven't been involved in the whole thing for that long, and the whole like, oh, is Jay Electronica gonna drop? I mean, I've listened to some of the songs, and obviously listened to the album. I mean, it's good. I really like Jay Z. I don't think Jay Z washed him or carried. I mean, they were both really solid. But that last song, I don't know what it stands for because I haven't looked into it. But the APIDTA, I'm sorry, it's probably something out. It's probably said in the song, but I don't pick things up easily, right? That song was really good though. I do listen to that one a lot because it's very sad and somber song about like losing someone, and about having like a number on your phone that'll never ring again. I think it's sad, makes me sad, but I like it. Future Nostalgia by Dua Lipa, yo, I'm telling you, man. I didn't know who Dua Lipa was for the longest time until I heard Physical. That was my first time hearing it because I heard people talking about it. I'm like, who's this Dua Lipa person? I was like, she's popular on Twitter. I'm seeing a lot of. I know she's a pop artist. I'm trying to get into more pop people, so let me just listen. And I listened to Physical by her. That was my first time listening to her. I was like, ooh, this is good. I'm gonna keep up with her. And then she dropped, and I before Fusion Nostalgia dropped, I listened to her first album, her self-titled album, and I thought it was good. Um, but I definitely like Future Nostalgia more, bro. Future Nostalgia, man. Now again, I've just kind of this year starting to get into pop. And let me tell you, this is one of my favorite albums all year. It's there are no misses, dude. It's just full of bangers. Like the title track, "Don't Start Now," cool, physical, levitating. Break my heart. Hallucinate. It's like Love Again. It's just there are just no misses. It's just a really just good, just like throwback kind of 80s and styled, 80s styled, inspired pop album, and it's just fucking great. I have it on vinyl. That's how you know. Like I only get I mean there are a lot of albums that I like that I'm not gonna get on vinyl just because I don't like it that much. But like when I get an album on vinyl, that's how it's like, you know, that's how like it's one of like my like favorites, right? My friend messaged me. It's my friend Zach. You must again. Da, 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 da. Da-na-na-na. So yeah, Dua Lipa, bro. I'm telling you, that album's cool as fuck. Cool. How is a song called Cool? I don't know. But bro, I'm telling you, Levitating. God, that's probably like my favorite pop song this year. I'm levitating. It's just fucking so good. I don't know what to say. So addicting. I love it. I can't wait for her to drop, to start dropping albums or singles again. I can't wait for like her next era, whatever it's gonna be. It's gonna be fucking great. Shout out to Dua Lipa. Before it came to Love Us by Jesse Reyes. Jesse Reyes is a very cool and unique artist. Obviously, I figured out about her from her being featured on M's Kamikaze. No, no, no. Actually, I listened to her before because M posted a picture with her in the studio. This is before Kamikaze dropped, so obviously those pictures were from when they were making those songs. And I saw him on social media, like, Jessica Reyes, I've never heard of her. I decided I'd check her out because at the time I was just looking for more people to get into, and I listened to her EP. What was it called? Jessie Ware? No, Jessie Reyes. Wrong person. I listened to her Kiddo EP or album. It's only 19 minutes. I think it's an EP, and I kept up with her since. And before Love Came to Kill Us was her like it was like her. I think it was her big debut album, right? Because she had Being Human in Public. That was an EP. So yeah. Again, I haven't gone back to it. Just it's again another one of those albums where like it was really good, but I just for some reason just didn't go back to it. I haven't even gone back to Coffin. I listened to that song like 3 times, and that has like an M feature. Usually, I'd be like listening to a song with M in it like a bunch. I listened to it twice just because it wasn't. I mean, it was kind of like an average love song, you know, feature. Pretty good though. Pretty good though. Lulu by Conway and the Alchemist, bro. Conway, one of my favorite rappers of all time. One of the best rappers just this year. I mean, he's been one of the, he's been consistently really good this past years, but like he's just been on fire this year. Right. So this is his first of like 3 projects he dropped this year, and this one's with the Alchemist. Has a really cool cover of just a shark. It was good though. I mean, it was a solid kind of warm up project. There wasn't anything crazy about it. There was that one song, Calvin, that was one of his best songs this year. That one's really good. I mean, again, I've nothing bad to say. It's just kind of classic Conway. Nothing groundbreaking, but I'm okay with classic Conway, especially when it's over Alchemist production, right? So, good stuff. The new next was the new Toronto 3 with Tory Lanez. Okay, I wanted to listen to Tory Lanez because I heard his him and the What's bro when the What's Poppin' remix came out. Jack Harlow, Tory Lanez, the Baby, and Lil Wayne. I was obsessed with that song for like a whole month straight. I fucking loved it. I loved Tory Lanez, despite the shit that went down with him. He still is my favorite verse on that song. I listened to that because at the time I was like, all right, let me try and get onto him. Wait, no. No, right. I don't think that What's Poppin' Remix was out at this time. I think it was because he was doing the quarantine radio, and it was becoming like a big thing on Instagram and on Twitter, and people were talking about it, and I thought it was really entertaining. So I'm like, and he put out an album in the midst of it, probably to it was a time where he was getting a lot of attention. And I thought, I was like, okay, I'm gonna give a listen. And I only saved about like 4 songs from it just because um it just wasn't a lot of it just isn't my kind of thing. But there were like 4 songs that I listened to it, and I really liked it. Those 4 songs, but since I've removed them because he's kind of a it's not a good person, because we all know what he did. Um, Again, I haven't looked into it. There are apparently arguments that he didn't actually shoot Megan in the foot, but I don't know, man. I'm just gonna ignore it. I don't really care that much. Bro, then Pray for Paris by West Side Gun. Oh my god. This is one of 3 albums he dropped this year, and honestly, this one's probably the best he dropped this year, in my opinion. I do think, see, I want to say Who Made the Sunshine is in contention because of the. And I'll get to it. Okay, let's talk about just this. I'm really bad at podcasting still. I'm still getting used to it. All right, Pray for Paris was the first of 3 albums he dropped this year, and I will always say now this is one of the best. Well, like probably his best album that did come out this year. One of the best rap albums this year. Bro, with like the No Vacancy intro, then going to George Bondo or Bondo, Bondo, whatever, what the fuck ever, right? With Conway and Benny, I think that's like my favorite like Griselda song. With all 3 of them, all 3 of the main members from this year. I mean, they made a lot. They made a lot of really good ones, and that one has to be because it's just the beat, just the way it kicks off after going from the No Vacancy track, and then goes into 327, Joey Badass, Tyler the Creator. That song was like big for him just because it's Tyler the Creator, and he's a pretty mainstream artist now, so people were definitely big into that song. And that song was it's his most streamed song on Spotify yet. Because of that. There's French Toast, Wale. That one's really good. Eurostep. I love that one. I love the beat on that one. 500 ounces with Freddie Gibbs and Rock Marciano. Love that one. I love Freddie Gibbs a lot. Claiborne Kick with Bodie James. Sean vs. Flair. Party with Pop Smoke. I mean, it's just it's just one of his best. It's just one of Gunn's best albums. Period. Like it's up there easily with his like top 5. It's just solid. I know it's kind of weird to say I'm nostalgic for something that wasn't even like a year ago, but it brings me back to that that whole beginning of quarantine vibe. Pray for Paris was one of those albums that I listened to a lot in the beginning because that's when it kind of started. Enter Fear, Tech Nine. Tech Nine is a rapper that when I first got into him, I was really big into him. But as the time goes on, I've just gotten to listen to him because I realized just like musically, A lot of his, a lot of, I've just kind of grown out of a lot of his stuff musically. I mean, he's still like a really solid like technical rapper and lyricist, but just like musically, a lot of his stuff just isn't that fun to listen to anymore. I just don't really like enjoy it. I mean, Tech's a great person. Again, like it's not bad. It's just not my thing. I don't go back to it at all. Um, it was solid though, from what I remember. Fetch the Bolt Cutters, Fiona Apple. I had never listened to Fiona Apple before. I didn't really know who she was until 2020, right? I mean, I'd heard about her before she dropped Fetch the Bolt Cutters, and I listened to it just because like I just kind of learned through Twitter that like, oh, people really like her, and this is like a highly anticipated album. So I'm gonna give it a listen, see if I like it, because I'm always on the lookout for albums that are, and just getting new artists that people consider it like really good. And I listened to it. It was really good. It had really good production. I mean, I like her voice. I haven't gone back to it just cause it just really just hasn't caught out to me really at all. Hasn't called for me to go back out to it again. Same thing, really good. I have nothing bad to say about it, but it just, I don't know. I just nothing had nothing to draw me back in. I'll go back to it eventually, maybe, probably, most likely. I mean, I still have like all the songs saved into my library, just like I get reminded to go back to it eventually. I just usually skip them when they come on, but I'll give that mine. I'll go back to it. It was good though from what I listened. No One Mourns the Wicked. This is Conway's second album this year, or project. It's more of like a small mix. It wasn't that long. Produced by Big Ghost, which is like a production company. This one, I like Lulu more than this one. Again, this one was still solid. Same thing as Lulu. It was just a good warm up. Just kind of classic Conway tape. Not that long. Just him just talking about the stuff he usually does. Solid stuff. I have nothing negative to say. But I did like that. I did like that project. But the opening track, the Dead of Flowers, that's one of my favorite songs from this year. I love the feel that song gives. How I'm Feeling Now by Charlie XCX. Charlie, I'm not like a huge fan, but I'm more than a casual fan. Like I still have a couple albums of hers. I need to get to, but I've listened to about like four of her albums now, and I like her. I really do need to listen to the rest of her discography because I like a lot what I've heard. When I listened to this, my first listen was like, it's all right. I didn't go back to it for like a long time until like 2 months ago. I listened through it again, and I was like, wow, this album is a lot better than I remember. And then I've been listening to it a lot more since. Claws. Let me look at the track list. Claws is it's probably like my favorite. I love that one. It's super addicting. Peak Diamond, Forever, 7 Years, Detonate, Click 2.0, Visions. It was just really good. It was just a really chill typical Charlie album, and I like it. I like it. I'm glad I went back to it because I ended up liking it a lot more than I remember. So yeah, good stuff. Um, Alfredo, Freddie Gibbs and Alchemist. This is one of my contenders for best rap albums of the year, bro. I'm telling you, Alfredo. This album was announced in release only within like a couple of days of I remember what was it? I remember a single came out. There was I think it was Scotty Beam that came out, the one with Rick Ross, or no, it was 1985. I think was the single that came out for it. Um, yeah, like the announcement and the release were within like a few days of each other. I think it was very just kind of like out of nowhere, which is great because it wasn't like a complete surprise. Like, people had like a day, a couple of days. Can't remember the time period. But yeah, The Alchemist this is his third his third project this year that he fully produced. There's Pricey Teen, China, Lulu, and now this. I think it was only three. There could be something else. I don't keep up with Alchemist, and I mean I do keep up with him like a lot, but like it is possible that I might have missed something, like a project or something, but I don't think I did. So Freddie has become Freddie. I'm not have a stroke. Freddie Gibbs has become one of my favorite rappers, honestly, ever. Ever since I listened to Bandana for the first time last year. I know Bandana was my first album. I didn't listen to Pinata before, but you know, whatever. Say what you want. Music elitist gatekeeping, right? But I have since delved into his albums. I haven't listened to everything because he has quite a bit, and I take a lot of time to get to. If an artist has a lot of albums, I take a while to get to all of them because I just, again, I've explained how I listen to music. It's weird, but I was super excited for this. I love 1985. The the guitar part and the God is perfect. I love the chorus on that. The microphone check, 1 2 mic check. Scotty Beam was good. Rick Ross and Freddie Gibbs kind of didn't expect to see that one on this album, but it was really good. Rick Ross doesn't really miss on verses, on guest verses that is. Bro, Frank Lucas with Benny the Butcher, that is in like my top 3 rap songs. Bro, Benny's verse, I honestly, I think that's Benny's best verse this year. Like in my opinion, I love there's a couple points where he pauses, then goes back in, like the last part of the song where he's like what was it? He had like an interlude where he was talking where he was like, yeah, he's like, y'all ain't never been like this. What was it? Of course, immediately since I'm recording and I have to actually say it, I forget it. But if you know the song, you know what I mean. But he ends up going back on the beat after talking for a minute, and that part just solidified. Like he didn't have to go back in and keep rapping, but he did. It was great. And then there's the one line that's probably my favorite bar from this year. That's just because it's kind of like it's not like super in depth, but it's just like his delivery, and it's just a very cold, just hard hitting bar. It was a soul lines to abusers, soul lines to abusers. Now I abuse y'all with lines. Like, God damn, Benny, chill. Like, chill the fuck out. He went crazy on that one. But regardless, that was a great song. I said it too much, bro. Man, bro, I'm so bad at this. Like, I'm. This shit is such a mess. I did not. Or I need to stop doing this thing where like I go in with it with like a general idea, and I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna go in and just talk, and I'll figure it out. I need to stop doing that. I keep thinking it's gonna work, but it doesn't. But fuck my life. I'm bad at this. Okay, man. I'm finding my voice. I'm finding my way. I'm figuring out. It'll be great to have like a permanent co-host, but I don't know. We'll see. But it had to be someone who would know about this. Like for this episode, it had to be someone who was like they wouldn't have to know every single album. Cause wouldn't expect someone to know every. I wouldn't expect to find someone who's listened to every project I've listened to from 2020. But like just someone who's like a hip hop or just like music head in general who at least know and be able to comment and know about some things. I don't know. There's something to rap about with Tyler. This is also one of his most streamed songs now, just because it's Tyler mainstream. He's yeah, Babies and Fools with Conway. Conway was on this too. I loved his verse on that. Expected a different kind of vibe from a collab with them, but solid nonetheless. And there was All Glass, just very solid. Freddie Gibbs doesn't miss. Alchemist doesn't miss. When you put them up together, I mean they already had a. They've already had a collab album with Currency, but like, this is just them, and I hope they do another album together. That'd be great. Let's keep it moving on to there was Hard by Joel Cheese and King Crooked. It was good. I haven't gone back to it. That's it really. That's all I have to say. Nothing too crazy. Then there is Run the Jewels 4 by Run the Jewels. All right. I got into Run the Jewels in 2020. I listened to all 3 Run the Jewels albums before this one came out because 3 is not that many, and I've been a fan. I've not been a fan for too long, But I've listened to all their stuff though, obviously, and I love them. That's all I'm gonna say. LP is incredible. Killer Mike is incredible, and damn, dude, just Run the Jewels 4 on it has to be my favorite. I don't know if that's unpopular. I really don't know, but Run the Jewels 4 was just incredibly just all around. Again, no misses. Bro, Yankee and the Brave. There's Ooh La La. Oh my god. Greg Nice and DJ Premier. Out of Sight with 2 Chainz. The beat on that one's crazy. 2 Chainz. It's amazing. Goonies vs. E.T. Just with Pharrell Williams and Zach De La Roca, or Rocha, however you say it, from Rage Against the Machine. That's in my top 10 rap songs. That one's incredible. Ground Below, A Few Words for the Firing Squad. Oh my dude, just this is another one of the albums like Pay for Paris that really brings me back to those original quarantine vibes for some reason. And again, not every album even albums I listen to between them, not even all of them give me that vibe, but for some reason that's one of them. Run the Jewels 4 is, and it's like a Killer Mike LP. They're both 45. They of course they haven't lost it one bit. Like it's just God, man, just the beats and the rapping and just like it's just so good. It's probably my favorite album cover too. Everything about it is just incredible. Fuck, man. Run the Jewels 4, one of the best rap albums this year. Also, I'm telling you that Out of Sight with 2 Chainz, man. That and just. I think that might be an acronym. I don't know. I don't look into things that much. Also because it's so the dollar sign for the S, right? Let's keep moving. Fly God is an Awesome Guy 2 by West Side Gun. This was his second album this year, and while admittedly I will say it is my least favorite, it was still really solid. I think it got a little too much hate. Michael Irvin, like the first song, it's not the first track, there's an intro track, but the first song, Michael Irvin, it's one of my favorite West Side Gun. Like it's potentially it's in my top 5 at least, like West Side Gun songs of all time. That I don't know why it just has this vibe to it. It's just this very it's like the conductor beat. It's a big part of it. It's like that dun dun dun, and then there's like the saxophone in it. I believe it is, or an instrument similar to it, like a I don't know. It might not be a saxophone, but it sounds like it at least. Stove Got Cooks is on 3 songs. Really solid. Buster's Wires, Benny, Boldy James. Lil C's, which was Armani Caesar, which was another artist they signed to Griselda this year. And she's also from Buffalo. And again, Boldy James and Armani, they were both signed. Boldy James is from Detroit, and they haven't like known him for like a long time. But yeah, obviously they've known him for like a good bit now, and they're obviously they're really close with him now. But Armani Caesar grew up in Buffalo, and she's known Benny, Gunn and Conway for like a long time, right? And they signed her, and this is my first time hearing her because this is like her kind of debut verse on Griselda. She's had a couple mixtapes. I looked into her. I haven't listened to them, but she does. Yeah, and this was her debut verse, and I was really impressed. And we knew an album from her was coming soon, and I was already excited. I thought that was really good. Again, it was solid. It was kind of like a typical like West Side Gun. It was just kind of like a maybe like a Hitler Wears Air Maze 4 or 5, where it wasn't anything like that crazy, but it was really solid. There were like a lot of good takeaways, especially with Michael Irvin, and Little C's. That was just really good. It's kind of typical West Side Gun, nothing too crazy, but really good. Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon from Pop Smoke. Ooh, Pop Smoke. I didn't know who he was until he died. I'll admit, but I figured I'd give his projects a chance. And I listened to Meet the Woo 1 and 2 before this one, and they were good. Of course I really loved his voice. I loved just the very grimy kind of drill type feel. And again, his first tapes were really good, and this is like his like debut commercial album. Obviously, it was after his death, but 50 Cent executive produced it. There were a lot of songs on it, a lot more than I expected. It was really good. I mean, there's a deluxe, and the whole thing total was like an hour and 41 minutes if you combine everything, and there were a couple of remixes. But it was really good. I think I really prefer Meet the Woo 2. I think that was it, right? Props, or is it just the Woo? It was Meet the Woo. I didn't want to mess it up just in case. Yeah, I like that one a lot more. But there were a lot of solid stuff like Aim for the Moon with Quavo, 44 Bulldog, um, Make It Rain, The Woo title, just the song The Woo with 50 Cent, Roddy Rich. There's a lot of solid stuff, that a lot of hits on this album. Like there were a lot of albums that have been streamed like crazy. Like For the Night with Lil Baby and Da Baby, that is like almost 500 million streams on Spotify. Mood Swings 300 million. So it was very successful. So that's good. I'm glad for his colleagues and his family to see that that after his death he had a project that was incredibly successful. So I really enjoyed it. Let's keep it going. Legends Never Die, Juice World. I've only listened to like one. I've only listened to Goodbye and Good Riddance. I think that's what it was, right? Juice World. Yeah, Goodbye and Good Riddance. Again, it's one of the things where like, I know it is. I just for the sake, in case, just in case. So I'd only heard that. I've heard a couple of songs on Death Race for Love. I never listened to the whole thing, but I'm more of like a casual Juice WRLD fan. I'm not like a huge stan of his, but this one is really solid. I like the I like Conversations, Bad Energy, Smile with The Weekend. That was a great, cause I like The Weekend. Um, I mean, Man of the Year. I mean, it was solid. I haven't gone back to most of them just because a lot of his music just isn't for me. But I really did like what I hear, and I'm glad. And of course, rest in peace, Juice WRLD. I'm glad that this album was also able to be very successful. So yeah. No Pressure by Logic. Logic has been one of those rappers. He's one of the first rappers I got into. I've listened to all his albums since I've listened to all his albums. There's a couple mixtapes I haven't heard because I'm not like he's not one of my favorite rappers. He's he had a Confessions of Dangerous Mind that I thought was just which it just wasn't good. I know it was good. It was okay in comparison to all his other albums. Obviously, it was like a step down, but it was solid though. And No Pressure is his retirement album. I think he'll come back. He's only 30, but I mean, as of right now, he's retired apparently. So, um, I really did enjoy this one though. There weren't really any there was like one featured artist. I don't think he's mentioned though. But I mean, I'm okay with that. Just like a Logic album. It's about an hour long. Obviously, it's a sequel to Under Pressure, which is his debut album. I mean, there was Hit My Line, Celebration, Open Mic, Aquarius 3, Soulful 2. Heard Him Say was incredible. That's probably my favorite song on the album for sure. Perfect's really good. And again, as someone who's been to Logic since like 2015, again, not like huge. He's not in my like top five. I mean, I'm always gonna have like a very special place in my heart for him, right? Just because of how far I go back with this music. Because he's one of the first rappers I got into when I got into hip hop, right? Um, I mean, again, I'm not too sad by it because I don't think because I'm not huge into him, and I think he's gonna come back. But it was really good though. It was definitely his best album probably since Incredible True Story. Um, Obviously definitely better than Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, and the Supermarket album because that just isn't my genre. But the book I do have. I have the Supermarket book by him, and I thought it was a good read. I enjoyed it. Let's see, Folklore by Taylor Swift. Now, look, Taylor Swift. I used to blindly hate her like back in like 2015, just because when I wasn't even really into music, just because that was like the agenda, and I hate that I did that. But I was I was kind of a sheep back then. I didn't really know. Fortunately, she still has that segment today where people just hate her for no reason, just for making music, and because she's probably just like a woman. A lot of people have a lot of misogynistic feelings towards her, and I think it's bull. I mean, if you can call her music, it's poppy trash. Like, okay, cool. You have an opinion about her music. No one really gives a fuck. Okay, just don't be misogynist, which a lot of people are towards her. I think she gets a lot of blind hate. And I've never listened to a full album by her before Folklore. I'm not gonna lie to you. And will I go back and listen to her more pop albums? Maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna say no. Just because I mean I've heard a lot. I mean, of course I like some of her singles. Like who like anyone? There's everyone likes at least one Taylor Swift song, and you can't fucking say no to that. Like you can blindly hit her all you want, for no reason. I don't like people who do that. I know some people who do. All right. Um, like bro, like you belong with me. Blank space. I knew you I knew you were trouble. Bad blood. Come on, man. You can't deny the hits. You like, bro. You belong with me is fucking. That's an incredible song. Okay, that's probably my favorite song by her of all time. If I'm being honest, from what I've heard, because I've only listened to 2 full albums, so I'll get to the other one later. I think you're gonna know what it is though. I was into Folklore because it was a surprise announcement. It was announced I think the night before, like the day before it dropped it. Like I think she announced it like a Thursday morning and dropped it that Friday midnight, I believe, something like that. It was a very close announcement to release window, and I listened to it because I was like, okay, never listened to it before, but Twitter's going crazy, and this isn't like a pop album. This is like more like this is like a more indie type album, and I'll give it a shot. And first listen, I was like, it's okay. I've since gone back to it recently, and I do like it. I think it's good. I don't think it's like amazing. I think it's really good. I'll say that much. Obviously this is her. I mean, she used to make country music before going into pop. And I guess this isn't country music, Folklore isn't, but it's. I mean, it has elements of it because it's it has more like guitar. It's more it's more indie, and there are country elements to the album, I think. But it's not a country album by any means. It's definitely more indie, right? And I know it's good. I really like the aesthetic of that. Like, regardless of music, I love the aesthetic of the album because it's just like a nice little, kind of gives you kind of a nice like kind of cabin feel. You know what I mean? It's more like, yeah, it's like alternative indie ish. What are you gonna do? I think it's good. I shout out to Taylor. You can say I don't like her music, but you can say that, but just don't be a dick, pretty much. Let's see, the Versace tape by Boldy James. This is his first Griselda. This is his Griselda debut project. It wasn't a full album. It was like a little mixtape, produced by Jay Versace. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. Same thing about Price and Tea in China. I thought this was. I mean, Price and Tea in China was better than this one. There wasn't anything really notable about that one. Going on, King's Disease. Nas dropped another album this year, and this was a step up from his last few albums, without a doubt. I mean, Lost Tapes 2 was okay. There's nothing really. Yeah, I thought it was a bit of a disappointment. Nazir from 2018, the album gets a little too much hate. I think that album's actually really solid. Or it's like a EP technically, whatever. It's only 7 minutes or 7 songs, 26 minutes. I think that one's really good though. But King's Disease is definitely his best album, and I'd say it's better than Nazir, for sure. I mean, you get the title track. There's Ultra Black. There's 27 Summers, Big Sean, Don Toliver, Rana, Lil Durk, Anderson .Paak. Anderson .Paak, of course, always, you know, always brings always makes a song better. Full Circle with AZ, Foxy Brown, right? And there was a track with ASAP Ferg at the end. It was just really sad. It was good to hear Nas. He hasn't lost it. And of course, they're gonna be like, oh, it's not Illmatic, so it's not. But don't stop comparing to Illmatic. That's not Nas anymore. This isn't fucking 1994. All right, let's fucking move on. I think it was really good. It was nominated for a Grammy. Not that you should, really, use the Grammys as like as a point to bring up whether something's good or not. But regardless, I think it's a little notable that it was. It's good to see Nas get nominated for that. I think for to get recognition. I thought it was really solid. After Hours by The Weeknd. I didn't listen to it until late August came out because I'll admit I was a blind Weeknd hater. I didn't like him for like really no good reason. Again, I've had that with artists before, and luckily I've been able to break out of that with all artists. I mean, I'm not gonna like I'm not gonna become like fans of like every single artist I've had that with, but like I stopped like the blind hate on artists because I used to be. I don't know why. I don't know why that was a part of me, but it's not anymore. And I used to have a hate for The Weeknd. Not a hate. I just couldn't really stand his music. I was like, I don't, whenever people were talking about his albums, I'm like, I just like, I don't care. I always get kind of like pissed about it for like no reason in my mind. Looking back on it, I'm like, why? I mean, it's just, I mean, at first it was his voice, but it was the same thing with West Side Gun. I didn't like West Side Gun voice at first, but now he's one of my favorite artists. And Weekend, I didn't like his voice at all, and now I think his voice is great. I don't dislike it at all now. And After Hours is still the only Weekend project I've listened to, and it's been a while. It's August, so I really need to listen to another album of his because I loved After Hours. It's one of the best albums this year in my opinion. It's definitely a contender for album of the year without a doubt. It's so good, dude. Alone Again, perfect intro track. It's probably my favorite song on the album. Too Late, Hardest to Love, Snow Child, Escape from LA, Heartless is obviously great. Faith, Blinding Lights is a complete hit, and bro, Blinding Lights is it's like the biggest song this year. Right? It has like well over like 1 billion streams, and deservingly so. It's such a banger. It's a complete hit, very deserving of it too. It almost has 2 billion. Like, God, man. I remember actually Blind Lights. It was a song that got me listening to him because I'd heard it and I'd heard it somewhere because again it's a big song. You're gonna hear it like a lot of places. I'd heard it somewhere and I was just like, you know what, that's actually pretty good. And I just kind of I put that thought to the side of my mind. It's like, okay, I didn't really think much about it. And then I rewatched Uncut Gems again, and I love that movie. It's one of my favorite movies ever. And The Weeknd is in it. Now, of course, I've seen the movie before because I've seen The Weeknd in it before. But when I watched it this time, like I was just like, hey, there's The Weeknd, and then I kind of clicked with the whole, oh yeah, I remember enjoying Blinding Lights, and then it just kind of hit me. Like, how about I just give his After Hours album a chance because it was a big album. A lot of people were saying it's really good. Let me just see, and then I listened to it, and I'm very glad that I made that switch and connection because it's phenomenal. It's amazing. I mean, In Your Eyes, I love the like the saxophone, like the I think it's a sax. Yeah, that's a saxophone. I'm always so afraid of speaking out of term or misspeaking, right? And then there's Until I Bleed Out, which is a great outro track. Just God, The Weeknd, man. Disappointed that I ever did blindly hate, but I'm very glad I changed my mind. So there we go. I'm a Weeknd fan now. Not a huge Weeknd fan because I still need to get to all this other stuff, which I will. I'll get there. Then we got From King to a God from Conway. Now this is his third project of the year, but this is like his big album. This isn't his Shady Records debut album, but this is like a big straight up album from him. This isn't like a warm up tape like Lulu where no one mourns the wicked. Like this is it. This is a big, and he released a couple of singles before it too, and it's Conway, one of my favorite rappers ever. So naturally, this is one of my favorite albums from the year. Bro, I'm telling you, like From King, intro track, Fear of God, that one's, and it's good. I liked it a lot at first, but it's kind of, I don't know, I don't like it as much now, but it's still good. Lemon with Method Man, one of the best songs this year. Doan Damani, oh my god, with I know Derringer is I think it's a co-production between Derringer and Beat Butcher. Might just be Derringer, I don't know. Juvenile Hell with Flea Lord, Havoc, Lloyd Banks, Incredible Frontlines. Anza with Armani Caesar. This was I believe, did this come out? Yeah, this came out before the Armani's album, right? Yeah. So this is another a sneak peek to Armani. I mean, she released a single, the Simply Done, single with Benny before this, but this is like another really good another really good look into her because like the beat on Anza is I love to hear Conway and versatile beats like that. It's a Drake esque beat without a doubt, and Armani floated over it too. I fucking love her verse in there. Seeing Everything But Jesus with Freddie Gibbs, another collab between them. Again, not what I was expecting, but still good. Number Spurs 3, which is, of course, with Benny and Westside, classic Griselda song. The beat on that one is bonkers. Actually, by the way, going back to Doe and Damani, I think it was Derringer and Alchemist. By the way, let me correct myself. So yeah, Spurs 3 was insane. Benny probably had best verse because it's Benny. Come on. There's Forever Dropping Tears, which was about DJ Shay. There's a couple of interludes about him too, where he was talking about Conway. Where DJ Shay was, cause DJ Shay was he was he toured with them a lot. He was their DJ, and he had produced a lot of songs for them. He produced my favorite rap song of all time, Transfer Kings by Benny the Butcher. So I'm always gonna, song's always gonna hold a special place in my heart, right? It was just great all around. He dropped a deluxe a few weeks ago, and it was a good edition. Not much to say about it. I mean, it was just some really good Conway songs. It's all I have to say. But yeah, man, From King to a God, extremely. It was great. Probably Conway's, honestly, it's my favorite Conway album, or just Conway project like ever. Very good stuff. Very good stuff. It's not the Conway. I can't wait for what he has planned this year. I know he has his Shady debut album. Probably he has Reject 3. I think he has a new project with Big Ghost coming out soon. You think he's been teasing it? Okay, now let's go on to The Liz by Armani Caesar. And I'm looking forward to this because I really liked her single that she put out with Benny. I really liked her features on Lil Cease and Anza. So I was very much looking forward to this, and it did not disappoint. It was a little on the short side. I wish it was a little longer because I really liked what I heard, but I honestly I loved it. Countdown was a great intro track. I love her. I love her. I love hearing her over the like the grimy Griselda beat. She fits very well on it. Mac 10's for everyone. For everybody. Gucci Casket with Conway. Conway goes off on that. Driller with Benny. That's my favorite song on the album, bro. Hearing Benny on that and Armani on like that drill beat is crazy. Now, when the album first came out, it was on an 808, or let me go check the original beat. It was produced by let me go check. I want to make sure I'm not getting this wrong. Armani, oops. Driller Run. Produced by 808 Mafia. Now, when it came out, the song was produced by 808 Mafia, and it had this really cool drill beat, right? But a few days after, or a couple days after, I can't remember when exactly, the beat was changed for some reason. It's still a good beat. It's kind of similar to the original one, but for some reason it was changed on streaming platforms. But luckily, it's still on YouTube, so I downloaded it and I have it in my files. So I can listen to the original, which is much better in my opinion. I mean, like obviously all their lyrics are still the same. I was just hoping it would have been the original would have been kept on there. All right. Then they were Simply Done with Benny. There were 2 songs with Benny, and bro, Simply Done is incredible. It's a DJ Premier beat, so that was great to hear. Get on my slick shit. Yeah. That song is fucking great. And then there, Palm Angels, Money Moves First. It was a good debut, or Griselda debut. I can't wait to see what else she has in store. Obviously, this isn't like this isn't like the best project I've ever heard. I'm pretty sure like she's only gonna grow from here. So I'm very confident that our next project will be like a lot better. Not to this one because I really liked it, but I feel like she has a lot of potential. to get better. Again, she is already really good, but you know what I'm trying to say, or at least hopefully you do. No, Smile by Katy Perry. I didn't want to listen to this, but I was like, let me try and diversify my my catalog. I've never listened to her any of her full albums all the way through before, just because it's never been my thing. And I saw this one was kind of short, and I listened to it, and it was very meh. There was just nothing. There's just nothing noteworthy about it, in my opinion. That's not a diss, because I think Katy Perry is a really cool person. I like her as a person, but just pure musically, just I don't know much to say about that. Who Made the Sunshine was his Wesley Gunn's third project this year, right? And oh boy, I did. I'm not gonna lie, I did when I saw the track list, I was like, oh, this album's gonna be like a classic. This is gonna be like the best album ever, or I thought it was gonna be like his best album, like for sure, and it was good. It was really good. It's better than Fly God is an Awesome God too. I can say that, but I don't know. It didn't stand out as much as I was hoping it would, but I still really enjoyed it. I mean, and Black Dog was on it, so like and there's Butch and the Blade, and there's classic Griselda track with all three of them, Bully James and Jada Kiss, Armani Caesar was on it twice, Ocean Prime with Slick Rick. You know what? Looking back on it, this one is. I wouldn't say it's as good as Pray for Paris, but it's close. I feel like this album isn't really talked about enough. I mean, there's Frank Murphy with a lot of rappers, Stowbot Cooks, Flea Lord. I can't remember even everyone that's all on it. Good Night with Slick Rick. That one's really good. And there's 98 Sabres with Conway, Benny, obviously West Side, and Armani Caesar. So I'm 4 out of the 5 Griselda members. And Bully James isn't on there, but I think it's kind of like more like a Buffalo thing. But you know, not to diss Bully, but yeah, that one was really good. I probably need to listen to it a little more. Some of the more underrated songs on there. It just it seemed like one of those albums where it seems like it would be like insane, and it was really good. I think I hyped it up a little too much because of the feature list. I mean, there weren't any bad songs, but I just it could have been a little more, but still good shit. Then there's Burden of Proof by Benny the Butcher. Oh man, bro, this is Benny's first project since the plugs I met, and I mean it's kind of a lot to live up to since how much I love the plugs I met. And before that, it was Tandem Talk 3. Of course, he doesn't have any bad verses. So a couple of singles were released. Like there were times with Lil Wayne, Big Sean. What was the other one released? It was Legend, and you could tell that this is definitely not a typical Griselda sound because it's produced by Hit Boy, and Hit Boy he's not, he's not like a Derringer, he's not a an Alchemist, but so and this is a very different direction for Benny, and I think it worked very well. Um, I don't know how I kind of stopped looking into how fans feel about it because I knew Griselda fans would be like, oh, this isn't this isn't Tandem Talk 3. This doesn't have Danger production. It doesn't have Alchemist production. It's not it's like I knew people were gonna be saying that, and it's like, bro, you realize he's not gonna go in the style forever. Just let him venture into the style and go into it with an open mind, and I mean he killed it. Intro track, Burden of Proof. Where to go with Rick Ross? That song was a little awkward. If I get that song moved a little too fast. I'm not huge on that one. Sly Green. I mean, One Way Flight with Freddie Gibb, bro. Timeless was really good. Over the Limit. Thank God I Made It. War Paint with Westside Gunn and Conway. Legend. I mean, it's just. I mean, it's just Benny and kind of like a. I mean, obviously, it's. I don't know how to classify it. It's. I wouldn't call it mainstream, but like it's. It's kind of trappy, right? Some of the songs, right? It's just. I'm really not sure quite how to describe it, but it's just not grimy. It's just kind of it's just a little more mainstream. It's just a more mainstream I mean, it's Hit Boy. He's not one of those super grimy producers, so you're not gonna get that. But again, I think he killed it. Obviously, I mean, I do still overall prefer him with the more grimy and gutter production, really gutter style. But he's gonna go back to that because and I was seriously that plugs the plug I met too, which fuck I can't wait for that, dude. Because you know how much I love the plugs I met in the first one. The second one better be really good. I mean, it's produced entirely by Harry Fraud, and I mean I know he's a really good producer, so I don't doubt that's gonna be good at all. I kind of wish that that Derringer and Alchemist were on it too, just because they were in the first one. But I will most certainly give it a listen because it's Punks I meant to. I know it's gonna be amazing regardless. Yeah, so Burden of Proof also one of my albums of the year. Let's keep going. I'm just gonna skip. I'm just gonna skip a couple, man. I really don't feel like talking about some of these. I don't have much to say. Positions by Ariana Grande. I'm a kind of casual fan. It was all right. I liked it more than Thinking Next. That's for sure. I still like Sweetener more. Sweetener was really good. Thinking Next was a little forgettable. Positions was pretty good. I like the Weekend on it. I like Doja Cat on it. I like the Shut Up intro track. Really solid. She has really good vocals. Production's cool. Yeah. Extinction Level Event 2 of The Wrath of God by Busta Rhymes. I'm not huge in them, but I saw the track list. I listened to a couple songs. I was very intrigued. A lot of these, I know for sure a lot of these songs were recorded like a while ago. Just based on some like the features, like Kendrick was on it, and just based on what people were saying that like, because I'm not, and I don't know much about Busta. People were saying that a lot of these songs were recorded a while ago, but I still thought it was really good. It was really long. Busta Rhymes typically has pretty lengthy albums, anyways. They're always like at least like an hour. It was good though. Put out a deluxe to it that had Calm Down with Eminem from like 2014. It's kind of weird, but what are you gonna do? I still really like that. Busta Rhymes is still a very good rapper. There's a song with Anderson .Paak on it called "You." Awkward song the first couple listens, but you grow into it, especially with it being Anderson .Paak. So Help Me God by 2 Chainz, bro. 2 Chainz never misses. He's one of those rappers where it's like where he makes he always puts out like really solid work, but like his last few albums they haven't been like groundbreaking. I mean, again, they've been like very solid all across the board, but just they haven't been like groundbreaking. I feel like that's why not a ton of people are talking about it because it's not something like crazy, but a lot of good bangers like Lambo Risk for Area. I'm not a fan of YoungBoy, but he was really good on that. Lil Wayne, of course, was great on it. Kanye West was on it. That was really cool to see. He had a good feature on it. Um, Free Later with Uzi Vert, Chief Keef. That was really good. Rick Ross was on it. That was really good. 55 Times. I mean, again, a lot of bangers from 2 Chainz. 2 Chainz, you can't miss with him. You can't miss. He's great. I love 2 Chainz. Plastic Hearts by Miley Cyrus. Yo, I really liked Miley Cyrus as a person for like a long time. I haven't really listened to hardly really much of her music prior to this. I'm going to now, like especially after hearing this. But I've always liked her as a person, like a lot. I always thought she was super fucking cool. And I'm gonna listen to more of her albums, especially now. But Plastic Heart I listened to, and bro, I was really surprised. I was kind of blown away. It was um I mean, I knew it would be good based on on the singles, but like it was way better than I expected. Like the whole thing, like what the fuck do I know? That one just a banger. What the fuck do I know? Plastic Hearts. The title track. That one's great. Man, damn, on your dream, man. Come on. It's good. It is like a rock influenced album, so it's like rock and pop, and she was done really well. Prisoner with Dua Lipa. Obviously I like Dua Lipa, so that song was a banger. It was a more pop song, not really rock. Night Crawling with Billy Idol. That one was really good. Midnight Sky is like a 80s retro theme. That one fucking goes crazy. High is great. Never Be Me. I love that one. Bad Karma with Joan Jett. From Joan Jett and the Black Hearts. That one was. Come on. Really solid stuff. Let's see. Edgemini Sky remix, Stevie Nicks. That was good. My favorite song of them was probably the Heart of Glass cover, live from the iHearts Festival. That one is bro, I think she killed that song. Like, I don't know, that was like a fucking, it was great. It was like probably like the best cover. I like it more than the original song. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Um, I love it. Wait, hold up. Give me 2 seconds. I have another mic issue. I don't want you to hear this. But yeah, I don't know. Bro, I can't praise that Heart of Glass cover enough. It's one of my favorite songs from this year. It's just, ugh, I don't know. The voice is just perfect on it. She has a great voice. Shout out to Miley Cyrus. Moving along, we're getting there. We're getting there, boys and girls and all and everyone. Um, Good news about Megan the Stallion. Megan the Stallion is really good. I've only listened to the Sugar EP. I've heard a lot of features. I've heard some singles, and I was enough to get me to want to listen to the album, and I was not disappointed at all. Bro, Shots Fired is my favorite song on the album. I love it because I know Jay Z. I've heard Jay Z rap on a beat similar to that. Obviously, it was changed a little. I think some drums were added or something. Something was that. I don't know my music terminology. Circles was really good. Cry Baby with the Baby. I think they make good songs together. Body. It's an interesting song, that's for sure. The chorus is it's something. I like it though. Girls in the Hood is on. It's kind of like a bonus song. I mean, Don't Stop with Young Thug. I love that one. Savage Remix with Beyonce. Go Crazy with Big Sean and 2 Chainz. I mean, come on, they all killed it. Maybe a little less so Big Sean. Nah, he's good though. But 2 Chainz and Megan were great. I really liked it. I'm excited to see where she goes from here. I feel like she has she still has a lot more potential to grow in her. So yeah. Evermore, Taylor Swift, her second surprise album. Okay, I like this one more than Folklore. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why. I mean, it sounds like I feel like if she just combined them together and just made a Folklore like a super long album, like you wouldn't be able to, there wouldn't be like a difference, but like you wouldn't be able to tell one. Be like, hey, I think this is different. Like no, but I don't know. I just like the songs in here a lot more. Willow, Champagne Problems, Nobody No Crime. I love Nobody No Crime. Tolerate, it's really good. Coney Island, solid. Ivy, um, Evermore, title track with Boney there. I think it's like the bougie, not even bougie, just that's the correct way to pronounce it. So yeah, those are only two Taylor albums I've listened to. Are those? And I might get to the others, but maybe not. It's just since I know that they're not that vibe, and I really like that vibe, but I could like it. I could like some for more pop stuff. Again, I like some of the singles, so who knows? Man on the Moon 3, The Chosen, Kid Cudi. This his third entry in his beloved Man on the Moon series. I've only heard one. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a big Kid Cudi fan. I'm a casual fan. I've only heard the first Man on the Moon and Kids See Ghosts, and now this one. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna pretend to be a huge fan of his. I did really like this one though. I should probably go listen to the second one. I mean, Cudi. He's always super melodic and just he he has the hums. Come on now. Tequila Shots is Another Day She Knows This, Heaven on Earth, Solo Dolo Part 3. I love that one. Show Out with Skepta and Pop Smoke. The Void was really good. Love Me with Phoebe Bridgers was cool. Rockstar Nights with Trippy was really good. I mean, it was just solid. It's just kind of. I am not in much of a position to say because I'm like a casual Kid Cudi fan, but it was just really good, solid stuff. Um, Music. Okay, and last one, Music to Be Murdered by Side B. All right, here we go. This is the last one I'm gonna talk about. Well, there were rumors of about like 4 or so days before this album came out. There were the B-side deluxe cover was supposedly leaked. Some people didn't believe it. But then the art the guy who designed the cover for the original Music to Be Murdered by, and who I guess designed a lot of other album covers for a lot of popular rappers this year. He posted a 2020 collage of all the album covers that he did, being like, oh, like it was a crazy year, and I appreciate all my fans. He was just showing like all the albums he did, and on that picture, the B-side deluxe one was there. So that's when people knew that it was legit and that something was for sure coming. And again, that was probably like Tuesday of the Friday it came out. And then there were colleagues close to M that were posting teasers of there was there were a couple people who were posting quotes from Alfred Hitchcock, which is, if you know Music to Be Murdered By, you know that took because Music to Be Murdered By was running like an Alfred Hitchcock album from like the 1950s or 60s or something like that, and obviously used that and kind of obviously not like copied, but like it was kind of like a big like he was paying homage to him. He was like the whole entire like album cover um and covers a reference to him, and he literally he samples his voice, and he samples the original album on this. So obviously it's a whole thing. So after that people were posting, there were a couple of colleagues who was posting. I think it was like Frederick. He was like a producer that was I was close to him, or that I guess that I guess knew. Obviously he knew. He was posting. He posted a couple like quotes from him, and people were like, all right, yeah, it's coming. But obviously we didn't know for sure because this happened before, where like there were some credible stuff, but like this one it seemed way more likely. And lo and behold, that Friday on the what was it, December 18th, it dropped. And yeah, so Music Be Murdered By Side B Deluxe. This is his first deluxe since the Marshall Mathers LP 2. But this is more of like a side B than like a deluxe. Isn't really necessarily a deluxe. It's a whole nother album of songs similar in a similar fashion and theme to the original A side album. So it's pretty much a whole new M album. It's not like a brand new concept, but it's worth it. It's like, I think total it's like 16 songs, and I think it's like 14 or 13, maybe something minus the skits or whatever. But damn, dude, he dropped it twice in 1 year, and this was a result of the quarantine. He said, he was like, well, I was stuck inside, so I just, all I really had time to do was write. So he did, and he had enough to put out an album. And I'm so glad he did, because it hasn't even been a month it just came out, so it's been on repeat, all month, or for the past like month. It hasn't been up a month, but it's the 12th right now. But ever since it came out, it's been on repeat, and God, dude, I absolutely love it. My favorite song on the album is it's definitely Alfred's theme. I know it's kind of like a weird song. People think the beat's kind of weird, but I mean, dude, like it's kind of one of those like a shady XV type songs where it's just like it's a different beat for M, because on Shady XV it was like it was like a rock beat, right? It was like a rock and roll type thing, and this is like it's like a, I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like a like a carnival type quirky type beat. I don't know how to describe it. If you listen to it, you know what I mean. It kind of has like a kind of like a clown kind of goofy theme, and it's just rapping for like about like 5 minutes, just about just like a bunch of shit. It's nothing like specific really. He touches on like a lot of stuff. And that's kind of some of my favorite M songs, where it's just like it's like a 5 minute song over like a really nice beat, where he's just rapping, just flexing his lyrical ability. But just a bunch of weird, funny references. I mean, their first actual song was Black Magic with Skylar Grey, and I really like that one. I love seeing them collab. A lot of people don't, but then now Alfred's stream led in Alfred's Alfred's theme led into Tone Deaf, which is really good. I love the chorus. I mean, it's a very funny song. I'm just kind of messing around. That's kind of what the whole project was. Since like, it's definitely not nearly as serious as the A side. Now I will say, there is time for it to be a subject to change, and I might be a little biased because the A side did surprise drop on my birthday, but a lot of people saying they prefer the B side. I still prefer the A side. I'm gonna be honest. I love the B side. It still has, of course, a lot of time to grow on me, potentially be better for me. But as of now, I still prefer A side. But I love every song on this. Tone It, Book of Rhymes after Tone of Death with DJ Premier cutting scratches at the end. I love the beat switches on that, and it's just, I don't know, it's just I'm just kind of just having fun and just going in on all the songs, just flexing his ability pretty much. Yeah, there's guns blazing with Dr. Dre and Sly Piper, bro. It's great to hear Dr. Dre and M on a song together again. This is the first time since like Medicine Man on Dr. Dre's Compton, I believe. So it's been a long while. So this was absolutely great to see, and it was really good. I love Dre's verse. Dre still has, he's like 55. He had a brain aneurysm actually recently, and I think he's doing better. I heard, which is good because we can do. I do not fucking want Dr. Dre being taken from us. Dr. Dre is, like one of the best artists ever, one of the most just genius and just talented artists ever. And he can still rap really good because I mean it's Dre. Come on, you can't expect him to be out here not still delivering. Um, and then there's Nat, which is definitely intended to be like the Godzilla of this album. Like it's definitely the most mainstream song because it has a music video, some like Godzilla directed by Cole Bennett, and the music video is fucking hilarious. I love hearing M on this because it's a more trap song. The beat switches are great. He just has like a buttery smooth flow over it, and it's great to hear him just chill and just obviously the song is very much COVID themed. That's also a big part of why it's mainstream because that's like the main theme of the song. The beat switches. He does go a little fast towards the end, but it's not as long as Godzilla, I don't think. And I don't mind it. I mean, I like Fast M to a degree. He doesn't do it too much. I think it fits perfectly. Then there's Higher. There was people were saying it's a kind of like a Till I Collapse esque song, and I'd agree with the chorus. Like, where am I supposed to go from here? Then there's a part where there's like the crowd, uh, like changing shady, and this song's already been used in like UFC and like college football promotions, so it's definitely it's definitely working. That's just people are definitely using it for in a similar manner that you would use to like collapse for. She Loves Me was good. Dr. Dre added the production. There's Killer, which is my least favorite song in the album. It's good. I think it's funny. I don't like the chorus that much. It's like the count of 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, get the money. It's just I don't know. It's not bad. It's just a little funny. It's a little goofy. I think coming from him. I don't know. It's still good though. Zeus. This song has been pretty controversial because I think the big part is like the Snoop Dogg jab at the end. I want to call it like this, because apparently Mr. Porter he said that Snoop Dogg and M are good, just like today or like the other day. So apparently they're good, but because a few months ago Snoop Dogg made a comment about like how M isn't one of his top 10 rappers, and M said he never had a problem with that. He had a problem with when Snoop said that because Snoop, I saw what Snoop said in an interview. He said like in regards to to like to be, like he said that he can't live. He said that he can live without M's music. He goes like he's like as far as living with it goes, I don't need to live with that shit. He said something of that manner, and that's what would piss them off. And he didn't like. He just took like a small jab, and he would send like last thing I need is a Snoop Dogg in me. Damn God, he was like a damn God to me. Not really. I had dog backwards. That's really all it was. It wasn't. It was hardly like a diss. And then, someone tagged Snoop on Instagram about it, and then he made a comment saying he made a comment saying pray I don't answer like that weak shit or. So people thought something was gonna happen, but apparently there's not, and I don't think something is gonna happen. I mean, I don't know what Snoop's problem is. He has like a small problem, clearly, like something small. I don't know what it is, but whatever. I don't care. I'm not one of those weirdos who are like, Snoop Dogg is out online. He needs to apologize, bro. I don't give a shit, man. I still love Snoop Dogg. If he doesn't like M's music that much, then he doesn't. This is his opinion. I don't care. A lot of weird stans and fanboys who don't agree with that. They think Snoop Dogg wronged them. It's like, bro, come on. I mean, I mean, he might have been like a little disrespectful with that. Like I can live without that shit comment. But again, I don't care. It doesn't change my opinion on Snoop at all. I still think he's great. And there was the final track, Discombobulated. Now, Discombobulated, it's definitely my second favorite song on the B side, and definitely has the potential to be my number one song. Because, bro, if you listen to it, this is a fucking relapse song. And M has said before how much he hates relapse, but a lot of his fans love it. But I guess he decided to give the fans what he wanted, and he made a relapse esque song. There were accents on it. The chorus was straight out of relapse, and it just makes me happy every time I listen to it. Just the fact that like he went back and did this. It's just like, thank you. The verses are great. Like the beat switches too, like on the verses, on different verses. God, dude, it's just fucking vintage Eminem, and I'm very glad I did it. Obviously, it's probably the best song to end the project with. And okay, and that's the project. I'm still gathering my thoughts overall. I don't have like a ton to say because again, it's not really following much of like anything. It's just I mean he obviously he does touch on important things. It's not just like a bunch of random shit, but like just like in general, it's just him just having fun, just speaking his mind and things that are going on in America. He's talking about like like his one line where he's like, "We need to reopen America. Black people like want equal rights. White people want haircuts." It's like yeah. Yeah, pretty much. I'm glad you touched on that. And again, it's just a very overall fun project. It's nothing like super serious. It's not super centered on anything. That's what I like about it. He's just having fun, just making songs. There was the one in Key skit, which is if you've heard it, that's something that he would definitely do in his older days. It's kind of like a Ken Kniff esque type skit where it's just very kind of just like funny and random, and I don't know. I kind of wish he brought Ken Kniff back. That would have been amazing, but he didn't. But what are you gonna do? Very solid. I'm still developing how I feel. It takes me a while to really always develop my thoughts like that on albums, but I love it, man. God, God, I feel like that was a disaster. I don't think anyone could listen to that whole thing all the way through, just because I don't structure my Again, I'm working on it, but you know what? Regardless, I had fun just doing it anyways, man. So who cares? I'll work on it. I'll get better. So just bear with me, please give me pointers. Give me advice or something, man. I don't know. Because I clearly I might just Google just how to podcast better. That might have to be the vibe and whatever we're gonna do. So as regards for my favorite album this year, my contenders, no specific order. Burden of Proof, Benny the Butcher, From King to a God, Common Machine, Music to Be Murdered By from Eminem. I'm just gonna include the A side. It's too early for the B side because it hasn't been like a month. I'm talking about just the A side, the original album. Um, After Hours, The Weekend, Future Nostalgia, Dua Lipa. Um, and there are a lot of others I really like, but I think oh yeah, and Run the Jewels 4, Run the Jewels 4 by Run the Jewels. So yeah, those are definitely my top songs or top albums. Those are my contenders, and well, I'm just gonna say it. I mean, I've already talked about kind of throughout which songs were my favorite songs of the year, so I'm not gonna have like a dedicated like favorite songs list because I mentioned them as I went along. So I'm just gonna say it. My album of the year, 2020. It's probably isn't gonna be a surprise, but Music to Be Murdered by Eminem. Come on, man. I've listened to it the most. It's still in rotation every day. That Uncommon Day and that Premonition. Pretty much every song, except for No Regrets. All right. It's just I haven't stopped listening to it, man. That's really it. And I love it. It's just I rate it like a 9 or honestly like probably like 9.5. Just like some of the songs like Leaving Heaven and what was the one In Too Deep. Those like relationship songs, they grew on me. What can I say? I absolutely love that album. you know, I'm gonna. That's where it's not biased, just because it's Eminem, and just because it's Eminem, and just because like it dropped on my birthday or whatever, right? But I love it, man. I don't know what else to say. It's phenomenal. I already talked about it. It's my album of the year. Call me biased, call me whatever you want, but I loved it so much. I hope 2021 is as great or even better if that's possible. A better year for music. I mean, it's possible. I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna jinx it. I'm not gonna say nothing. But if it is better, that'd be great. I just hope it's, even if it's like a little less good, even if it's just like pretty close, I'll be satisfied just because we got so much good stuff. M's probably not gonna drop this year. I don't see him dropping on a whole another album, but you never know. If he does, that'd be great. Obviously, I'm hoping to see a lot of Griselda drops this year. I mean, I know we for sure are getting them because they always drop every year, so see that coming. I don't see Dua Lipa dropping. I hope she does. At least she drops something. I mean, it's gonna be a whole year. There's no way she's not gonna drop at least some like at least a small handful of songs, at least features. Sia's coming out with that music soundtrack and hopefully her actual album this year that she's talked about a couple of times. That'd be amazing. Kanye is should drop at some point, but it's Kanye, so I won't be surprised if he doesn't. But I hope he does. I hope it's better than Jesus King. I bet it will be. I don't think he can make an album. I'm not gonna say worse because I don't think Jesus King is bad. I think it's good. I'll say it's good, but that's really about it. We'll see. I'll be updating as things happen. Sorry, this episode was a mess. Again, I'm working on it. I'm gonna find my voice. I'm gonna get there eventually. I still have a long way to come, but you know what? I'll get there, and at least I'm documenting my journey, so everyone can see what's happening as it's happening, right? So I guess goodbye, everyone. Big changes are coming soon to the podcast. I'm gonna keep saying that because it's true, and I'll see y'all soon. Bye.